lot of good choices for Coach of the Year, but in the end, it only goes to Minnesota's Richard Pitino. A turnaround season nobody in the college basketball world saw coming. Here's one way to look at it. They lost 23 games last year. They've won 23 games this year. And remember, the arrow wasn't pointing up from last season. Last year, the season ended with 4 players suspended from the team. One of them kicked off. They had a total culture change in Minneapolis, and it worked, scoring 7 points a game more this year than last year, defensively being much more stout, and going from only 2 Big Ten wins last season to 11 wins this year. So let's bring in Richard Pitino right now to talk about this award. First things first, congratulations, Coach. If I told you 1 year ago, when you'd won only 8 games, that you'd be the Big Ten Coach of the Year this year, what would you have said?
Well, it would have to have gone about the way I was hoping it would have gone. I always did feel like we would turn the corner, but the difficult thing was we had 5 new players, really 6 with Devontae Fitzgerald getting hurt. So for our guys with a young team, with a lot of newcomers who played significant minutes, it's a testament to them that we were able to win 23 games, finish top 4. And obviously, for me to get this award's humbling, and I'm very appreciative of it, and my staff and my team. They've all been really, really easy to coach and to be around. They made me a better coach.
And obviously part of this is because how tremendous you guys played the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season. What specifically was different with your team these last 8 or 9 games?
Well, I think when you look back with the returners, significant, important players like Nate Mason, Jordan Murphy, those guys understood how to deal with it. And I'm not sure if we would have been able to do it if we didn't go through what we went through last year. We had lost a lot of close games last year and didn't break through. This year, we lost 4 really close games, and then we just told ourselves, stay positive, keep believing, keep executing. If you do that, you'll be on the winning side of it. And fortunately, we answered a 5-game losing streak with an 8-game winning streak.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question that you're going to hate. Your instinct will be to deflect and talk about your kids, but just one. Give me one where you're talking about yourself here. I want you to be introspective. Give me an example of something that you did well this year.
Oh, I do not like that question, but I'll answer it for you because I'm in a good mood. But I would just say keeping them positive, and even looking back to last year and going into this year when there were so many difficult things that we had to deal with, and there wasn't a lot of enthusiasm about our program moving forward, and there was a lot of external noise. And then when you go back to the conference season where you lose 5 in a row, you start 3-1, lose 5 in a row. It just taught me that you got to keep your guys positive. The more negative the noise around you gets, the more positive you have to be in the locker room. So I think more than anything was just keeping a level head, staying positive myself, believing in what we were doing, not getting too high, not getting too low. And you know what, sometimes when you're around the game for a long time, I've been lucky to be around it, you understand that, all it takes is a good week and you're back to on a run again. Unfortunately, we had a terrific February. So more than anything, I guess proud of the fact that I was able to stay level-headed.
All right, next question is something you should like talking about more. Your dad. What has he said he's most proud of with you and your team this year?
Well, it's very obvious. I thought a cool moment for me was he had been to a couple of games, and then he texted me the night before our Penn State game and said, hey, can I get 6 tickets for the game tomorrow? And I said, you're coming back again. You were just here, because I think he was there for the Michigan game. And his response was, I just love watching your team play in Williams Arena. So that was a cool moment for me, just the fact that he took so much time out just because he enjoyed watching our team play, because we are a fun group to be around. So I'm sure as a father, to go from the year that we had last year and so many difficult things going on, and to bounce back and be comfortably in the NCAA tournament, to get a double bye, with a young team and with a lot of new players, I'm sure he's excited about where we're going, and I'm happy that he was able to be a part of it.
How important was character in your players this year?
Very important, and when you've got returners like Nate Mason and Jordan Murphy who went through a difficult season, stuck it out, decided to stick with what we were doing, believe in it. Dupree McBrayer believed that we would turn the corner, and then those newcomers to understand that they've got to integrate themselves the right way, and they all kind of blended together, and they really didn't care about anything else but winning. And maybe that's because last year we kind of took our lumps, and we had to earn the respect of everybody, And we embraced that. And we didn't really worry about anything else. Every single day, it was just all about winning. It didn't matter if I changed the starting lineup. It didn't matter if one day one guy had 15 points and somebody had 3. There was never any talk about individuals all year. And our greatest strength was no ego. We had the most selflessness of any team that I've ever been around, growing up or whatever. I mean, these guys truly, all they cared about was winning, improving the image of this basketball program, gaining the respect back, not only locally but nationally, because our guys deserved that, and they went out and they earned it the hard way.
I know you just talked about not focusing on individuals, so let me focus on an individual. Nate Mason,
Yep.
Was this more, less, or exactly what you thought you'd get from Nate Mason?
I always believed in Nate Mason, and, you know, I recruited him because I thought he'd be a terrific guard down the road. I think last year, as difficult as it was to be on a losing team, was great for him because he got a lot of minutes in big games and tough environments versus very good players. So if he didn't go through that, he may not have been able to make the jump that he did this year. I'm proud of him because during that 5-game losing streak, he was not playing well. And he had the confidence, he had the resiliency to fight through it and continue to just work hard. You know, he's grown up a lot. He's the heart and soul of our team. He's one of the best point guards in the conference, if not the country. And we don't win 8 games in a row. We don't win 23 games if it isn't for Nate Mason. So he deserves a lot of credit. He's grown up a ton. He's gotten a lot better. And, you know, he's somebody that I've been extremely proud of. So I'm happy that he's been able to be recognized.
Who's the unsung hero on this roster?
I think it's got to be Akeem Springs. You know, not even from a basketball standpoint. He came into this locker room from day one and showed a young team how they're supposed to operate as it pertains to leadership and confidence. He walked right in, and he was the loudest guy on the team. He understood the game. He'd ask questions during scouting reports. He's about the right things, just wants to win. You know, and that type of attitude, it's infectious. And, you know, young people, they don't like to put themselves out there too much. And it can be embarrassing to be a great leader. It can be embarrassing to be loud in practice. And Akeem has really, really done a good job of helping everybody become a better leader, whether or not it's Nate Mason, who's a captain, or Jordan Murphy. Both of those guys have evolved on the court, but in the locker room, they've been terrific as well.
Last year, you had to play on Wednesday of the Big Ten tournament. This year, you don't get to play till Friday. Congratulations on the season and the award, Richard Pitino. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.